Hi everybody, and welcome to WTF Hammer Underworlds. Today is going to be my first Season 2 Warband balancing video, looking at, of course, the Stormsire's Cursebreakers. I'm going to be posting the review video that I made for this warband in the description. In that video, obviously I went into lots of detail about this warband and I broke them down, and the basic summary was as follows. That this warband has 3 spellcasters, which gives them full access to all gambits and objective cards that score based on spells, which is great. They also have strong attacks and good defense, making them hard to kill and dangerous if they approach enemy warbands, although they do struggle in movement. They inspire mechanical lines with their strength, that being spellcasting, and they have a special spell attack action as well as special spell actions for Amos and Rastus, which makes it so that they can pretty easily score some passive glory and active glory as well, because they can be effective offensively. And finally, their versatile array of faction-specific cards results in them having the ability to play many styles effectively, although they do lack in positional play, that being objective holding play. So with all this in mind, I had ranked this warband as an A. They're very good. They're actually pretty much at the perfect level of strength that I have been trying to balance all the Shadespire warbands around, and then I'm going to be trying to balance all the other Night Vault and Beastgrave warbands around as well. But what I would like to do though is not necessarily buff these guys or nerf these guys, but just give them a little bit of a tweak to make them a little bit more fun and also make them play out of the box, which I'll be explaining again in a second. So as I've been doing in all of these videos, what I'm going to be suggesting are some errata suggestions and some new faction-specific cards that this warband could obtain from Games Workshop, which would allow them to just be tweaked slightly, make them a bit more enjoyable to play, but keeping them at a similar tier. Starting with errata, just a really minor suggestion here. They have an objective card called Devastating Blow, which is typically worth 1 glory point, which basically requires that they take out 2 or more enemy fighters in a phase, and then they would get 1 glory point in an end phase. I mean, for me, 1 glory point is not sufficient. It's not sufficient enough to make this a worthwhile card to put in a Stormsire's Cursebreakers deck. So I just recommend that this card instead be worth 2 glory points for the following reasons. It would just encourage some offensive play. I mean, all too often when I play against Stormsire's Cursebreakers, their typical strategy is just to kind of stay away from me, cast some spells, score some objective cards for casting spells. They don't have too much incentive to risk coming forward and making attacks. So, I mean, a card like this would just encourage that kind of offensive play, which always makes Warhammer Underworlds games fun. I mean, it's not really fun playing against warbands that just score passive glory the whole time. It really just sucks the life out of the game. This game is all about the dice rolls, the risk of it, the fun, offensive aspects of it, and tweaking this card like this could definitely help this warband become a bit more aggressive. And that's my only suggestion as far as errata is concerned. So just making Devastating Blow worth 2 glory points. Like I said, I'm just making slight tweaks to this warband because I actually like the level that they are at. I am also going to be proposing some new faction-specific cards, mostly for this reason that I'm about to describe here. Deck building requires that a warband have 12 objective cards and then 20 or more power cards, that being 10 gambit and 10 upgrade cards, so that they can basically be played out of the box. All the Shadespire warbands, all the Night Vault warbands cannot be played out of the box. Stormsire's Cursebreakers only have 10 objective cards, although they do have a valid number of power cards. So their powered card number respects the deck building rules, but they're missing 2 objective cards to be played out of the box. So I'm just going to recommend that this warband get 2 new objective cards, simply so they can be played out of the box, and also just to help make them a little bit more versatile, mostly towards that aggressive theme that I was describing. So what are my suggestions? Well, my first suggestion would just be a card that rewards this warband advancing towards the enemy. And my suggestion would be a faction-specific Unstoppable Advance, which could be called Onward Gale. So this is actually a faction-specific card for the Chosen Axes, in which they can basically score 2 glory points in an end phase if all their surviving fighters are in enemy territory. So it encourages advancing. So my justification would be that this promotes a playstyle in which this warband advances and engages in combat, and it's nothing game-changing. It would just promote some versatility, promote some aggressive play. And my final suggestion, this is going to be a really short video, is just a card that rewards advancing towards the enemy once again. And my suggestion would be a faction-specific Seize Ground, which could be called the Storm Approaches, which isn't too powerful, but it would give this warband a little bit more positional play options, because right now they're very weak with regard to holding objectives, so this could at least give them a little bit of an edge in that area. So it would encourage objective play while promoting aggression, and once again, not game-changing, just promotes versatility. So just to summarize the new faction-specific card recommendations that I'm making, just 2 new objective cards so that this deck could be valid, play out of the box, a faction-specific unstoppable advance called Onward Gale, and a faction-specific seize ground called the Storm Approaches. And this, of course, in combination with the Errata suggestion that I made earlier. And this basically concludes my video, so it was nice and short. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, please comment below. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and if you'd like me to make other balancing videos like it. And next week, I'm going to be looking over the Thorns of the Briar. Have a nice day.